It's already the last day of January 2023. Time flies, man. So today we are going to be using the MPC Key 61 along with Splice.com, and we're going to import some samples, chop up the loops and all that stuff, and import some drums and make a quick beat out of it. For you guys who have MPCs, you know that they have an option in here where Splice and the MPC will actually sync together, even though they've had a few problems with that, but they seem to have corrected that with the newest updates. I did update this, so hopefully it works. I'm hoping it works. But they do have an option where Splice and the MPC connect with each other, and it downloads to your external card or your USB or whatever. Do not save it on your internal drive. Don't do that. But they do have that option on there, so you can go ahead and link your Splice account with it. And in that way, you'll have all your samples on your MPC, whether it's the MPC 1, the Live 2, the X, or even the MPC Key 61, or even the software if you use that. So like I said before, I'm gonna go ahead and chop everything up. I'm gonna do this without no cuts, no breaks. Y'all know how I do it. So if you skip over a part, you might miss something. And I'm not putting any timestamps in here either. And of course, if you want any of the MPC products, I have a link in the description where you can go ahead and get it. It's through zZounds.com. And if you just want to get some other equipment, they have tons of equipment that don't require credit or background check on the site. So you can just go ahead and order it. They'll ship it to you, and you won't have to provide no credit or background check. You just have to give them some information and a credit or debit card so they can go ahead and just bill you with easy payment plans with that. So if you want to go ahead and get that, just click that link in the description. And usually I use my drum kits, but I'm not going to use my drum kits today. I'm going to be using nothing but Splice samples today. But if you do want to go ahead and get my drum kits, which they are pretty dope, go ahead and click that link in the description and get my drum kits. They're only 10 bucks per kit. $10. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the video, and I will see you at the end. Don't skip nothing. Don't skip it. All right, so we're in the MPC Key 61. I have a clean slate in here, clean program. I'm gonna show you guys how to add in the samples, how to assign the samples to a pad, and how to warp the samples as well. Now, Splice is actually very dope. If you don't have a Splice account, go ahead and click the link in the description and get you a Splice account, and you will save some money if you click that link in the description on your Splice account. And trust me, this is a great alternative rather than using loops from a loop maker, because everything is royalty free. Don't believe the hype. This stuff is actually cool to use if you use it the right way, okay? If you use it the right way. So let's go ahead and add these in here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit menu, and we can go to our browse, or we can double hit the menu like this, and it'll take you right into our browse section without hitting browse. So what we're going to do is go right here to Splice, and even with the newest update, it still doesn't populate all the sounds. It's a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. I wish it populated all the sounds so I could just scroll through, but it is what it is. So what we're going to do is we're just trying to find something pretty cool in here, and let's see what we can find. Let's go ahead and pull up like some melody stuff. So let's see what we can find. Just type it in melody, see what we got. That's dope. That's kind of dope. So that's dope. So there's two ways we can do this. We can load the sample by just loading it in, and we can assign it to the pad. But the quickest way to do this is just hit the pad right here and press load, and it automatically assigns it to a pad that's in the program. So we just hit it. All right, and that sample is at 136 BPM. So we're gonna hit another pad right here, and we're gonna go ahead and search for hi-hats. So let's go ahead and try to find some hi-hats. All right, and so they have some hi-hats right here, and let's just put hi-hat. All right, so there we go. Cool, so this is actually a hi-hat loop, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this too. And this is at 130 BPM, so let me see here, load that in here. Yeah, So we have the sample, which is at 136, and I think the hi-hat loop is at 130 BPM. I'm gonna show you guys how to go ahead and sync those up. So we're gonna do this again. Let's go ahead and add a clap in here. Let's search the directory and let's find a clap. I'm just gonna make something really quick in here. See what trap clap got right here. That's cool. Let's load that up. And then let's go and add a 808 bass. Let's see what we got. 808. All right. Yeah, Splice. Let's see what we got. Let's use Sonny's 808. Yeah, use my boy Sonny. So we use a regular 808. So we have a hi-hat and an 808, and we have a sample. All right, so we have all this in one drum program, and we have this in one program. I didn't name it or nothing like that, but it is what it is. So we have this in here, and I'm gonna click on the sample real quick, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to edit sample right here, and the sample says it's at 136. On some of these Splice samples, they say it's a certain tempo, but sometimes it's off. I'm gonna trust that it's 136, but we can still find it either way. You know what I'm saying? They have a way you can detect it and everything. But we're gonna go ahead and go to chop right here. And it's saying at 136. And let's go ahead and just chop this into regions since we know it's a 8-bar loop or 12-bar loop or whatever. So let's see what they got. All right, so pretty much loops twice. And it seems like it is a 8-bar loop or 16-bar loop, whatever you want to call it. So that's why I like to use regions. Now, we don't really know what the loop points are. I would probably do manual and just chop it like that. But as you guys can see, we put it on regions. It chopped it up equally. We're good. So now what we're going to do is hit shift and we're going to hit convert. And it says new drum program using slices in a non-destructive slice. I pretty much just use this. And I'm gonna make a new drum program. And this stuff works on every single one of the new MPCs, works exactly the same. It's just the buttons are a little bit different on each one. But this works exactly the same for the people who don't know how to chop in the MPs yet. All right, so we'll go back to main. So now we go back to main, we can go ahead and select our new program we just made, which is the melody loop. It's at 136 BPM. So we're gonna go ahead and put that at 136. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and just add it in here real quick. See what we can come up with. So we did a 4-bar loop right there. Let's do an 8. Let's do an 8. We need to do some other chops. I kind of messed up a little bit in there. Let me see. I can go into here and see what I did. That's 5. I believe it was these right here. Let's go right here. And let's go ahead and nudge this over right here. There we go. All right, so that worked out. So let's go back to main. So we got that in there, pretty much done. All right, cool. So we got that. It's at 136. Now what I want to do is I want to actually either speed this up or slow this down. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go right here to warp sample. And now that it's in its own program, I can go ahead and I can select this thing right here, this thing right in the middle. I can select that and I can edit the zones in here. So now what I can do is I can basically group together all of the zones in here. So I'm gonna do multiple, or you can do all, but for this case, I'm just gonna do multiple and I'm gonna select all these. Okay, now you only have to do this when you want to warp samples that are chopped. Now, if the sample is not chopped up, you can just warp it by pressing warp and it'll let you know the tempo and everything. But since I have these chopped, I want all these individual chops to be able to be warped at the same time. That's the power of the MPC over some other products. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and hit warp right here and put this at the original tempo, which is 136. Put that at 136 and we're pretty much done. So when we go back to main, I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up and slow it down, and it's not going to change the pitch of the sample. Watch this. All right, so cool. So I got this at 145 right now. So as you guys can see with the warp function, it like time stretches it and everything. And then it's a quick and easy way to do it. There's other ways you can do it as well on here, but this is the way I do it. And if you kind of heard it kind of distorting or whatever, there is other modes you can put this in. Now, that's one thing I don't like. I feel like with this being the price that it should retain better quality of the sample without having to change stuff like that. Because even like a cheaper program could do it better, but they have modes in here that make it a little bit better. I just have it set on the regular mode right now. So now let's go ahead and add these drums in here. So now let's go ahead and go back to the first program we had with the hi-hat in it. And we're gonna do the same exact thing, but with this one, since we don't have it chopped, we can just go ahead and warp it. So I'm gonna select it. Okay, and I'm gonna go right here to warp. I'm gonna turn on the warp, right? But before I do that, I wanna set this mode into current. So it only works with just the current pad. So it works with the current pad, because if not, it's gonna go into multiple and it's gonna do the same thing that it did in the other one. And it's gonna have a totally different tempo and everything. So make sure you go to current. So you wanna just deal with just that one pad because it's not chopped up into individual pads. So we're gonna close that up. We're gonna hit warp. It basically tells us that the BPM is 130.3, which is a little off. I'm gonna go right here and set this, press shift and put that on 130, and we're done. That's it. So we go back to main. We have our whole hi-hat loop. Let's go and add that in there. And that's it. And if we go turn the BPM up or down, the hi-hats are going to follow. They're going to time stretch with that, or they're going to warp with that. And it's that easy. Okay. So now we're going to go to another track, or we can stay on the same track, but I like to split all my sounds up onto different tracks. So I'm going to go ahead, pick the same program, which I have my clap in here right here. I'm going to add my clap. And pretty much we got our clap in there. And then now we can go ahead and go to the bass. So we have our bass in here, and we'll go back to the program right here. And then there's two ways we can do the bass. We can do it on 16 levels. And then actually we're gonna have this set on tune. And I think it's right there. We can do it right there, or the way I like to do it on here is we're gonna go right here. We're gonna see we got on 16 level. Let's take that 16 levels off. We'll have it right here. We'll go right here and click on warp, but we're gonna click right here where you see this right here, and it's gonna make its own key group for the bass to where we can play all the notes along the keys. So it's right there. Make sure that this is in current mode. All right. And then we're gonna go ahead and press that right here. And then now, And that's pretty much it. So now when we play it, we just got to find the key. All right, so sounds good. We're in E. So we're in E minor. So we're in E minor. So we can go back in here, we can play it on the keys, or what we can do is go to pad perform, click on where it says notes right here, where it says notes. We click on notes, and then we can set this for a natural minor and put this on E minor. E natural minor, which is, that's actually very, very, very low. And we're gonna go ahead and push this octave up. And so now the red ones are gonna show you the root of the note. And that way you would not be able to mess up, because all of the notes are going to be in key no matter what. So if we play it, so it's just like that. And I might want to take this. So we do it like that. So let's go ahead and add this in real quick. Actually, and it's just like that. Now, if I want to speed it up or slow it down, I can do that. All right, so as you guys can see, it is very easy to add splice loops inside of the MPC. They just go and talk to each other, and it goes in there. And you can add them to pads. You can go ahead and warp them, transpose them, whatever you want to call it. And you can add in other sounds and make a pretty nice beat with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the process. Hope you guys like what I did. And if you like Splice, go ahead and get it right now. Click that link in the description. You'll save some money. And hopefully it'll help you out in your future productions. So like I always say, peace out.